Hello, welcome to your first art lesson back at school. We're excited to see what you come up with. We've set some exciting lessons in place, and this first project is actually going to be in the art department, a link between year 5 and year 8, which is going to end with an online virtual reality exhibition. Don't worry if you don't know what I mean by that, I shall show you later. But in simple terms, it means we are going to have your digital artwork sent in, and we're going to create an exhibition where it looks like you're walking around, but you're doing it on the computer. So it's quite exciting and linking up between year 5 and year 8. Now the theme, so I've got my special t-shirt on, it's probably back to front for you, is about space. Okay, space and Earth, and particularly this week about Sputnik. I shall talk a little bit about more later. So, why year 5 and year 8? Year 5, this links very well with the thematic work you'll be doing with the rest of your teachers. And also in year 8, you would have remembered perhaps doing it before, but you're going to help out with some of your skills to teach the younger children, some art leadership coming in there, which will be very exciting. Okay, so the reason I came into school today, I wanted to quickly show you some of the amazing artwork that you will eventually see when you come back to school, but work from pupils in the past. On the wall behind me, you have a fantastic piece of artwork of all the planets by Katerina, who's now doing GCSE actually. And if I just turn around, can you see all those planets, spaceships, planet Earth, the moon, even Sputnik is up there, that have been created by past students. If you have these materials at home, it'd be very exciting to see photos you do of any of that type of work, 3D work. Today we're going to do work on paper though. Let me just come over here and show you some more flat work that you might want to consider doing before we demonstrate what your task is going to be. So I'm just going to move this down. Okay, great. So, first of all, here's a rather nice painting. So if you have paint at home, you might want to do a night scene like this, the starry sky. You can see a meteorite speeding through the sky. Another student has taken quite a nice idea of thinking about the environment. What can you see inside the moon? I had to look a couple of times and now I can see it's the shape of a tree. So obviously they're thinking about the environment and protecting the trees because we need trees to make the planet healthy. They've used some lovely artistic techniques. They've actually put salt here on top of the paint to make it all agitated and give a good texture. Here's another piece of work about the Earth and space that takes an environmental feel. What do you think this represents? What does it mean? Looks like a tree, doesn't it, and the Earth. But what else does it look like? If you look carefully, you see the branches are turning into fingers. So maybe we're thinking about protecting and looking after the Earth. This is a fun piece. The shape representing the Earth or the moon, and again inside the trees and glitter to represent the stars. Would you believe that this piece here is actually by a year 3 student, so young, such a fantastic piece of work. If I just move it across, you can see superhero there is looking after planet Earth. And if I move it across, can you see all the things he's keeping away from it? The litter, the pollution, anything that is going to destroy the Earth if we don't keep control of it and recycle and all those other things. So what I'm going to ask you to do today though, I'm going to show you after this demonstration some pictures of Sputnik. If you don't know about Sputnik, it is a satellite. So you can get natural satellites or you can get man-made ones. It's an object that moves, orbits, goes round planet Earth. So this first ever man-made satellite was actually launched from the Soviet Union, but it's actually Kazakhstan. So it's something to be very proud of in this country. So we're going to celebrate that. In the PowerPoints, I'll show you more information about when that was launched. But let's just do some fantastic artwork. Now, to make the circle shape of Sputnik, you could just use, I'm going to use my drink bottle. If you want, you can do something circle or sellotape. Okay, do it quite light like that. And then afterwards, just go round. I often use my hand as kind of a compass. And don't forget to turn the paper as well and just darken it up. Now, as it gets down towards the bottom, I'm going to stop darkening it because Sputnik actually had four, basically it would give signals to Earth, so it was giving radio signals, so it'd have like 4 antennae coming out of it. It's a round metal sphere and 4 antennae. So 2 would come from this side, that's why I want to stop and just leave that faded. So 1 here and 1 about there. Okay, so like that, and 1 here. Okay, and then 2 would come from behind it. So now I can just carry that line on. I know where to leave the gap. And then 2 would come behind. So I'm going to put, these will be a bit shorter because they're further away. So I'm going to make it end a little bit more towards the actual sphere, the ball shape of the satellite Sputnik. What a fantastic name, Sputnik. Okay, so there you go. Right, okay, so there's our amazing Sputnik. Now, what I'd like you to do is do this like a poster advertising and celebrating Sputnik. There's actually an anniversary coming up in October of when it was launched many years ago. So what we'll do is we'll have the exhibition around that time. So I want you to write the word Sputnik. Now, when you write it, first of all, you need to decide what is your letter grid going to be. What I mean by that is, are your words going to go round in a circle like this? Maybe your words go up and down, you know, or maybe you just keep them straight. It's up to you. I think mine, I'm going to make them actually go round the shape of Sputnik. So I'm going to do, you can do these quite light. I'm doing them dark because you can see. Okay, so we count S-P-U-T-N-I-K. So we've got 7 letters. So then you divide it up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got roughly the nice equal amount of space to actually draw. Can you see that? Okay, I'll just move it up like this. So you can divide up the space you need for each letter. Okay. Then you can, I would practice your letters over here. Are they going to be spiky? Are they going to be bubbly? Are they going to be 3D? But I'm just going to draw some. This will be back to front for you, I guess, and upside down. I'm sorry, but I'm not that clever. I can actually do things upside down. So I'm just going to do it like this and then turn it around. And again, I would say you sketch this first, and then when you're happy with it, you define it. But so I don't take up all your art lesson demonstrating, I'm just going to go down really hard straight away. So see, I'm using the letter grid as a guide, but it doesn't mean you can't, as an artist, break the rules a little bit and go just a little bit outside, but it just gives you a sense of how much space you've got. So I've got Sput, N, you're being artistic, sometimes it's easy to forget and put the wrong spelling in, so just stop talking for a minute and concentrate, as I always say in the art lessons. Okay, Sputnik. Now, if you want to, you could put an exclamation mark on the end. I'll leave that up to you. Or you could add other things like, you know, you could add some stylized stars or a moon shape, or even get, you know, adventurous and draw a rocket or an astronaut or something like that. I'll leave that up to you. It does not have to look like mine, but I would like Sputnik and I would like the name actually drawn on. I'm just going to turn this around now so you can see so far. Again, I think that's back to front, isn't it? I'll take a photo and I'll put it online so you can see it. Okay, now, if you have colours, hopefully you have, try and get some hot colours, cold colours, and then some darker colours. So what I mean by that, hot colours are the colours of the sun or the fire. So you've got red, yellows, and oranges. Cold colours are colours of water or ice. So you have purpley blue colours. If you have more than one shade, like dark and light, that's fantastic. If you don't, doesn't matter. You can like push down harder for dark, lighter for light, so you know you can get around it with art, don't worry. And then, so hot colours, cold colours, and then I've got my like neutral kind of greyish colours. You can use black if you want, but these are going to be the night sky and also the shading. Okay, so Sputnik was actually like a silvery, metally kind of colour, so you can use these kind of colours on here as well, just to add a little bit of a 3D effect. So you can decide maybe there's some shadow down the side of the legs of Sputnik, just to make it ping out a little bit. Okay, and then maybe down to make it look rounded if we push down hard there. Okay, and one side a big shadow, and then maybe just a smaller shadow down here as well to make it look a bit rounded. Let's get a slightly darker tone to make it even darker on one edge like that. Okay, so that's beginning. Let me just lift that up again. That's beginning to look a bit more rounded, isn't it? Okay, so then you can use all your other colours just to make it really ping out. Okay, now remember to use some blending as well. So if we're going to make this stand out, it doesn't have to all be yellow, does it? You could blend yellow one side, maybe red on the other, and then if you gradually mix the red and the yellow, you can actually form it into a very orangey kind of colour. So you can make some exciting mixes and blending of the colours as well. So I've gone really quite dark here, pushing down, going over it lots of times so it's got some darker tone. And then, you know, you have to go from one colour to the other. I'm going to then blend it out with the yellow again, so it's turning like an orange because the red and yellow is mixing. It's up to you whether you want to give it a different colour outline. I've just done black, but you could do like a purple or something. So you put some exciting colours in there. And then use your colder colours as well, just to take, if you carefully take the background away like this, dark, cold colours tend to go away from you, whereas hot colours ping out. So you really do actually literally give it a sense of space when you darken the spaces in between. Spaces in between, gaps, we call those negative spaces. Okay, it's just what we say in art, negative spaces. It just means the gaps, and the actual objects are called positive spaces. Sometimes people say, oh, I feel negative, like I don't feel very hopeful, or I think it's not going to work out. That's not the meaning here. It just means negative, like the gap, that's all. Yeah, but the negative spaces can be quite beautiful, the gaps in between, so we can make those look a bit special too. Now you can imagine you can keep working all the way in between all of this and blending in some other shades too, so it's not all one tone of blue. Okay, so what have I shown you today? I've shown you that I want you to draw a Sputnik with its 4 antennae. I want you to include the word Sputnik. I know it looks back to front there, but you'll do it the right way around. Doesn't have to go in a circle. You can go straight or small, getting bigger, whatever you like. And I'd like you to put some colour on if you have it, or just shade it. And then I want you to take a photograph of this piece of work and send it in to us. So eventually we can have an online virtual art gallery. Okay, I hope you really enjoy this task. If you've got any questions, please do put them in the live stream in Google Classroom so we can answer them. And we look forward to seeing what you do. Have lots of fun. Bye-bye.